These are 5 cards to always draft in Modern Horizons 3 Limited. Now, always is a strong word, but we will caveat that by saying that these are cards you should at least strongly consider drafting, and you should almost certainly be taking them higher than you are. Kicking things off with Airy Auxiliary, this is the sort of card that does exactly what every single white deck wants to do, and yet I still feel like I get past this card quite late. I take it pretty much every time I see it. It's absolutely excellent at the top of your curve, and just makes such an easy game plan for winning. 2-drop, 3-drop Airy Auxiliary is basically a cheat code for winning. It's a fantastic card and the exact thing you want at the top of your curve in every white deck. Definitely a card to prioritize. Next up is another white card, Metastatic Evangel, the best friend of Airy Auxiliary, a 2-drop that just absolutely dominates the game if left unchecked. When you have any counters on your creatures, just getting to proliferate whenever you play a creature is insane. It works well with energy strategies. It's overall a fantastic card and a 2-drop that every white deck wants and just perfectly on theme. Definitely a card to prioritize. Next up is Stump Stomp, a card that I have played in red decks, a card that I have played in green decks, a card that I have played in red-green decks. The fact that it fits into so many different color pairs and is excellent in all of them is a real reason to prioritize this card. You can take it early with full confidence or nearly full confidence that you will be able to play it because it's a red card or a green card. It doesn't have to be both. The fact that it's a land on the back means that you can just play it as a land in the early game if you don't need the removal, but usually you're going to save it because it is a very quality spell, and the flexibility in the draft portion makes this a card that you should definitely be taking highly. Moving on to number 2, Galvanic Discharge. The fact that I still get past this card at all is insane to me, and the fact that I've seen them 7th or even 8th pick is wild. Don't let the energy component of this card fool you. You do not need to be an energy deck for this card to be absolutely bonkers. You play this in any red deck, it is going to be one of, if not the best card in your deck at common or uncommon. It's absolutely stellar, a card that you should not be passing, and a card that you should be taking incredibly highly, and playing as many copies as you can get. It's a strong pull into red. This card is stellar, and even though it's pretty obvious that it's great, it's even a card that you should be taking higher than you are. Just pretty much don't pass this card and you'll be quite happy with that decision. And at number 1 is Writhing Chrysalis. The fact that a 2-color card can get this high in the priority list is absolutely insane, but Writhing Chrysalis is worth it. You should try to play red-green if you get this card early. It plays out way better than a common, because if you think about it, it's a 4-mana 4/5 that gets you 2 mana back on the following turn that enables you to play a 7-drop, or you can save the spawns, and it's also even bigger than a 4/5 because you'll have other spawns in your red-green deck. It's just an absolute monster of a card that really just gets you a huge mana advantage, a huge body advantage. It gives you chump blockers for days that you can just stabilize the board with one card. It is the card you do not want to see on turn 4 or even turn 3 if your opponent ramps it out with a 2-drop mana dork or something like that. This card is absolutely fantastic and one you should be taking basically every time you see it and trying to fit it into your decks. Just absolutely critical card in the format and a fantastic one. So even though this card is awesome and it's widely known that it's awesome and you probably thought, hey, this is awesome when you saw it, still you should be taking this higher and definitely a card to always draft. That's going to do it for this video. Leave hashtag top 5 if you made it to the end of the video, and I will talk to you next time.